Guys, I know it's New Comic Book Day, so happy New Comic Book Day, but before we get into it, I just heard some new Spider-Man news that we could have our potential artist on the title when it's re-released in April, which I think it's starting over at a new #1, and that could be John Romita Jr. Whether it's a cover artist or interior artist or both, we don't know. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think if he comes back to the Amazing Spider-Man. And now, on to the haul. Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I'm your host, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you Spider Slayer's comic book haul. Fans, this is episode 510, and this is the video series where each and every week I share with you what I pick up at Comic Central, which is my local comic book shop. Guys, they provide the best customer service, and if you're ever in the Central Florida area, in the city of Sanford, tell them that Mike Spider Slayer sent you. And guys, they will give you the ultimate customer service, and hopefully you'll find something that you'll love. So guys, let's get started with this week's haul. Starting it off with that mysterious black bag. You can see there's comics inside of it already. So here we go. So we're going to dive right into it. And there's a big stack of comics right here. Now, not all these books I'm going to show you today because I do a series on Saturdays, which is called Dollar Bin Diving, but I think I'm going to change the name because not all the books are called a dollar anymore. So I think I'm just going to call it Bargain Bin Diving or something like that. And I have a lot of books to show you guys, so hopefully you'll check that series out on Saturday. So it's all old school comics. But let's get into the new comics that I picked up. Here is this week's comics. Again, not too shabby. I think it's a huge week for comics. And if you think this week is huge, I think next week is going to be even bigger. So let's start this bad boy off. Kicking it off with Marvel Comics. This is DARKHAWK. This is issue 5. This is the conclusion to this series, and I think that this book is a great series for the next generation of comic book readers. You should read this from issue 1. It introduces a new DARKHAWK in the Marvel Universe, and you just kind of get to see his power set. You get to see his everyday struggles with MS. You get to see how he was a basketball player. He meets up with Miles Morales in this series. It really is a phenomenal read, and I've enjoyed it, so I can't wait to see how this whole thing wraps up. So this is DARKHAWK issue 5. All right, next I have a brand new series from Image Comics. Definitely looking forward to this. I think a lot of people are looking forward to this, and this is The Scorched. This is issue 1. What a name for a comic book or for a team, but nevertheless, I'm looking forward to what Todd McFarlane has to offer in this. This is a great Capullo cover, which is absolutely gorgeous. And here's some of the interior artwork right from the start. I mean, this looks phenomenal. Definitely looking forward to this and how all these Spawn characters team up to do battle against God knows whoever it is, right? So definitely looking forward to that. That's The Scorched issue 1. Alongside of that, I had to get the Todd McFarlane cover, right? Where we just get She-Spawn that's featured on it. Another nice looking cover as well. What makes this cover so appealing is, yes, not necessarily just, you know, She-Spawn herself or Jessica Priest, but I love this huge gun right here. It is literally taller than she is. That is pretty badass. So next on the haul, you guys are going to be surprised about this, but I think I put it on my final cutoff originally, and I guess I'm going to be reading issue 2 of Batgirls. So we have Batgirls issue 2 on here. I was not a huge fan of the first issue. We have Corona, who does the artwork, right? And he did it on the Me You Love in the Dark, but the artwork is just not the same. as it was. I don't know if it has to do with maybe it not being glossy pictures or whatnot, but I just wasn't a fan of the first issue. Maybe I'll give it another try and we'll see what happens with it, but I can guarantee you that this will be last on my list to read. And then I also wound up getting the variant cover as well, with them together and Frosty the Snowman. Again, I think this was on my FOC, and I said I was going to buy the first 2 issues to try it out. So there you have that. All right, next I have the long-awaited return of the Savage Dragon. This is issue 261. We got Malcolm Dragon teaming up with his dad, but from an alternate universe. And he's got a freaking cable arm there, right? So that's hilarious to see that. I am looking forward to reading Savage Dragon again. Here's some of the interior artwork in there. That's pretty badass. This book can be quite gruesome. It can be definitely a little bit on the, I want to say, perverted side in many ways, but nevertheless, it's okay. It's a fun story at times, so I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Savage Dragon issue 261. Next, I've been enjoying the Wastelanders books. This is Wastelanders Black Widow. So we get to see old lady Black Widow, and this is the first time we're seeing her in this universe. So I am excited about that one. Here's some of the interior artwork in here, which actually looks really good. I'm waiting to see how old lady Natasha Romanoff does in this universe here. So I think she's probably around in her 50s at this point, and she's still kicking ass and taking names. So yeah, man, here's some more artwork there too. So yeah, that's Wastelanders Black Widow. All right. Next, we have the conclusion to Marauders issue 27. So if you've been following this book, which I don't know how many people are still reading it, this is the final issue of this first volume. They will be re-releasing or releasing a second volume. I guess maybe a little bit of a change up with the roster, but there's definitely going to be a new creative team on there. So I am interested to see how this whole thing wraps up. The story has definitely been inconsistent, especially towards the latter stages of this volume. There's some times where I don't even know what's going on and where they pulled this story from. But yeah, we're going to see how it concludes, and then maybe it does lead into the new volume. So that's Marauders. That's issue 27. All right. Next, from Marvel, we have Hawkeye Kate Bishop. The story's been average for me. It's been okay, and I definitely want to see the direction that it goes. We wind up getting to see Kate Bishop hired by her sister to try to find this missing child, and they're trying to prevent her from finding this child, and her sister and Kate are teaming up. So it's been okay. I think the second issue was better than the first issue, and again, it's just been all right. Some would argue that the artwork maybe is not their favorite type of artwork. But again, just an average book at this point. Let's hope it gets better as time goes along. So that's Hawkeye Kate Bishop. All right. Next is kind of like my sleeper pick of the week. This is from Vault. This is We Ride Titans issue 1. So this is like a Kaijo mech type of story. And Vault's been putting out some great stuff, and we get to see some of the artwork right off the bat, where we get to see the mech doing battle against the big ass monster. And for some reason, I think this family has a tradition of writing these mechs or Kaijo or whatever it is. I don't know, but again, Vault has been putting out some good stuff, and I'm definitely checking out some more independents these days and giving these smaller publishers a little bit more of a chance, and we'll see what it has to offer. I can definitely tell you, though, it is kind of a real thin story here. All right, more books from Marvel. So we have Devil's Reign Superior 4 issue 1. So obviously we can see, if you've read Devil's Reign so far, the Fantastic Four not in the Baxter building anymore, and Dr. Octopus has definitely taken over that building and taken over the Forever Gate. So I want to see his story on what he does with this Forever Gate. It looks like he's pulling people from alternate universes, because right from the start, we get to see a Wolverine, a Hulk that kind of looks a little scaly. I don't know, man, but this could be a lot of fun. And now it's time for the Facebook group page shout-outs. And our first shout-out of the day goes to Atticus, and he says, collect what you love. I love cartoons from my childhood. So do I. You can see some of those classic comics from early 80s properties like Masters of the Universe, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, Silverhawks, Mask, Thundercats, G.I. Joe. Great books there to have in your collection. Next, we have Walter Joseph Kovacs, who is showing off his Spider-Woman negative space comic book cover. I didn't even know they made Spider-Man or Spider-Woman negative space comic book covers back in the day. That is a showstopper. Take that, modern day comics. I love that one. Then we have John Ross, who is showing off his comic book room, and he took the time to organize everything. That's always a chore. Congratulations on always getting that stuff knocked out. The room is looking good. And then last but not least, guys, we have Christopher Jensen, who said, my dog Henry passed away a short time ago, but now he's immortalized in Stray Dogs. So that is awesome that Henry did make the cut, and may Henry rest in peace. And I had to show that off and pay my respects to Henry. So guys, there are your Facebook group page shout outs, and if you want to become part of the group, just go on to my Facebook group page and just search for Comic Book Corner 2.0 Webs Heads Unite, and I will find you on there and I will approve you, and then you will be part of this wonderful community where we show off all of our comic books. We discuss our hauls, some grails that we find, and just have overall great conversation. So again, guys, Comic Book Corner, Web Heads Unite, and you never know when you could be on future comic book hauls. Continuing with the haul, we now have Daredevil, Woman Without Fear. This is issue 1. This one's written by Chip Zdarsky, and I've enjoyed his Daredevil run. I love how Elektra is Daredevil, or now is alongside with Matt Murdock, and there's 2 Daredevils, so I want to see what this story is about. You know, if I look at it just from first hand, it looks like maybe this is a story that takes place from the past. I do like the interior artwork. I think it looks really good. I love the facial expression there. It looks like this is Elektra right here, and I love her eyes there. So this could be an interesting story here. Again, diving deeper into Elektra. So we'll see what happens with that one. So, yep. Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, issue 1. Oh man, so the Amazing Spider-Man issue 85, the Beyond storyline continues with Dr. Octopus going after the Beyond Corporation's secrets, right? Well guys, we're getting closer to the end of this Beyond Corporation crap, and like I said earlier in this video, we could have possibly our new artist on the title, John Romita Jr. Now, again, that's not confirmed. He could be just a cover artist, could be just that one issue, but he's been on Amazing Spider-Man in the past, so we'll see where that goes. But here is this story right here as Ben Reilly continues to do battle against the villain of the week, and most of the time he fails and he gets yelled at. Is there anything different that happens in this issue? We'll see. All right. Next, we have the continuation of the Joker. We're on issue 11 at this point. How do you guys feel about the Joker at this point? You know, I think it's all right. I think it has its ups and downs. I think now we're continuing the main portion of this story, and maybe we'll drive it a little bit more forward, which I'm looking forward to. And I feel that this is when the story is at its best. And the artist that does this issue is Giuseppe Gomacoli. So if you're familiar with his artwork, he did a lot of Spider-Man artwork in the past. So here's some more art there. And hopefully it pushes the story a little bit more further. So that's issue 11. Next, I really enjoyed issue 1047. We now have 1048 of Batman Detective Comics. We have a story with Arkham Asylum that's now Arkham Tower. There's people being thrown off the building. All shit has, you know, broken loose. It's just a really intense story. You know, there just seemed like there was hope on the horizon with all the people that were in the Arkham Tower, and after 20 days, it's just kind of back to the way it was. And we have definitely some good artwork in this book. I really enjoy the way it looks, and I think Tamaki's writing is pretty awesome, man. And I think maybe this book might be a little bit underrated. And there's no real Batman in this book. You get a lot of the Bat characters, but even though in this issue, though, we are seeing Batman here. So we'll see what this story has to offer. And again, looking forward to it. All right, next book I picked up this week is Tom Taylor's Dark Ages. Yeah, man, I love this book. Now, it's not as good as DC's Dark Knights of Steel, right? But this is still a cool alternate universe Marvel story that has to deal with our Marvel superheroes in the Dark Ages, and they're trying to survive. And then in the last issue, oh man, who would we wind up getting killed? I forgot. Someone important wound up getting killed in the last issue, and I think Quicksilver was the one that killed him. Quicksilver was one that killed a lot of the Marvel heroes, right? So I'm looking forward to that. And we get to see some action going on right here. Look at that. But this has been an overall good story, and hopefully, Tom Taylor fans, you enjoy this last Marvel story that Tom Taylor is writing for Marvel, because he did sign that DC exclusive contract. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how this story continues here. So that's Dark Ages issue 4. All right, next we have Fantastic Four, issue 4. This is Fantastic Four, issue 4, but I see 4, and that's why I said 4. Fantastic Four, issue 39, Six Faces of Franklin Richards. I really enjoy this Dan Slott run of Fantastic Four. And in the last issue, we had a trial going on. We have the return of Jennifer Walters, and I think we are doing a child custody battle over Bentley, which you would think it's boring because it's, you know, taking place in a courtroom. But whenever you have the Fantastic Four and you have the Wizard and you have Jennifer Walters in here, it actually makes for a very good and entertaining story. There's a lot of funny moments, a lot of great character interactions, and I think it's good, man. And I think this might lead up to the event that is getting ready to come out with the Fantastic Four as well. And then we also have the whole Johnny Storm storyline where he can't power off. He can't flame off. He's permanently flaming on, and it's kind of hurting him. So I'm looking forward to that plot point too. So that's Fantastic Four issue 39. All right. Next, we have issue 2 of King of Spies. It's another really good book from Mark Millar, as we get to see this old-time spy who decided that he wants to go in the right in his golden ages, but then he winds up finding out that he has cancer, and before he dies, he wants to go out and just kind of kill everybody before he dies. You know, people that have done him wrong in the past, and he wants to leave off on good terms, you know. So whether it's killing the bad guys or not, I guess that's okay with him. I thought the first issue was quite interesting, and seeing what this guy kind of went through in the beginning of the issue with his cancer and stuff was an interesting story, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, King of Spies issue 2. All right, next we have The Knighted. This is issue 3 of 5. Another great book by AWA Upshot about a guy who winds up accidentally becoming a superhero, and it's a Batman type of superhero with the Peter Parker persona, right? And he has to learn to be this hero, and he's not very good at it, but he promises that all the things that he messed up along the way, he's going to try to fix it, and then once he's done fixing it, he's no longer going to be the knight. And this is a good book, man. I've been quite enjoying it, and I definitely recommend this one, guys. All right, next we have another new #1 book, and this is Reign issue 1. This one is done by Joe Hill. So if there's a book out there that I can also recommend this week, probably it's going to be this one, especially if you like horror. It looks like these two are a couple, they're roommates or whatnot. Then there's an apocalyptic situation that happens where it looks like that, I think, like, rain is falling from the sky that's maybe supposedly like nails, and you get to see that start to happen right here in this book. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. If you're a fan of Joe Hill, you're definitely going to want to check this one out. I am definitely looking forward to this one. All right, and then next we have a Devil's Reign tie-in. This is Spider-Woman. This is issue 18. So, love Spider-Woman. Every issue that comes out is always very entertaining. It's got great artwork. I love character expressions in this. Jessica Drews always looks like, you know, she's out to kick some ass. Like, look at this facial expression there, you know, and people fear her, and that's what I love her. Look at this. It's so good, man. So if you love action and if you like actually a quite funny comic book at times, you're going to like this book, and there you get to see Kingpin in there. So again, it all ties into Devil's Reign, and we'll see again how this all impacts the Marvel Universe, right? And then we have Robin and Batman issue 3 of 3. Now, this is the last one. This is Jeff Lemire's one of his best books that he's written so far. I've really enjoyed this story with Dick Grayson and Bruce and Alfred. And you gotta love how Alfred is kind of stuck in the middle between Bruce and Dick's relationship. And the way the story is told is so well done. The artwork is gorgeous. It's kind of like this, I don't know, like this, this painted style where it's like it kind of it takes place a long time ago, so it's kind of like almost like a flashback story in very many ways, right? Such a great book. It's so enjoyable to read. And if you guys haven't heard, Jeff Lemire just signed an exclusive contract with Image Comics. So when you're looking for other stories from other publishers, you're probably not going to see it for a while once that contract gets underway. But until then, no, definitely pick this up and pick up the first 2 issues. Hopefully you can get those on the rack. So there you guys have it. There is the haul for this week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Looking forward to hearing what you picked up in the comments section below. And guys, don't forget, on Saturday, check out the former video called Dollar Bin Diving into Bargain Bin Diving. And hopefully you'll see all the cool bargain books that I picked up. And guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell so you don't miss any content from me. And speaking of content, I'll leave you more right here to check out. Yesterday's top 10 most anticipated video. And guys, as always, keep buying, keep collecting, and most importantly, keep reading those comics. Guys, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.